Well, hello there. It's good to have you back with us. In 2018, government started the implementation of the One District, One Warehouse policy to solve the problems of post-harvest losses in Ghana. While some of the warehouses have been operationalized, the warehouse in the Kasina-Nankana West District of the Upper East region remains closed. Security man of the facility has started rearing poultry there. Features editor Jojo Kobina now reports.
The construction of warehouses under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program will be a major booster in our efforts to guarantee food security and the transformation of the agricultural sector.
Well, behind me is the One District, One Warehouse in the Kasina-Nankana area. Brilliant idea for farmers to actually farm, and then when they have excess, they bring it here for storage, and then later it's released onto the market. Brilliant idea. But let's go in and find out what it's serving its purpose.
The government has not put the warehouse to use, so the security man there has started rearing chicken in the warehouse. One District, One Warehouse is a very coherent policy to help farmers store their harvest and reduce post-harvest losses. It complements the Planting for Food and Jobs program. Of course, the people of Kasina-Nankana West were excited about this project because it would help them store excess rice, which usually sells at 3 bags for the price of 2 in times of bumper harvest.
Bumper harvest this season with no ready markets forced the rice farmers earlier this week to sell some of their grains at 3 bags for the price of 2.
I've sold more than about 1,000 bags. The 1,000 bags have gone. I've got only about 100 bags money. Well,
farmers like Isaac Pabia looked forward to the completion and operationalization of the warehouse. Unfortunately, work has stalled for nearly 3 years.
We have farmers who are in the valleys farming rice. Where to store these grains during the harvesting season? We are anticipating it will solve a problem. As it is right now, it's a standstill and it's not serving any purpose.
Pabia says he has been to the district agricultural office for answers, but was told the project is under the Special Development Initiative.
The last time I followed up with the Department of Agric, they couldn't give me much information about it. The reason being that the project was under the Ministry of Presidential Special Initiative, which is no more. So they find it difficult to access information to share with us. But we've been there to find out what is going on, and the contractor is not on site.
What would you
This project is under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program, IPEP. Unfortunately, the contractor has not been fully paid, so he has not handed over the project for use.
And now the recent hike in fuel prices appears to have moved a number of commercial drivers into finding new ways of dealing with the impacts. The fluctuating prices seem to be taking a toll, a psychological one, on drivers, just as it's reeling in their pockets as well. My colleague Emmanuel Giveno caught up with a 20-year-old taxi driver who has blinded his fuel gauge to avoid the distraction of seeing the fuel gauge going down.
He said when it was low, price says you know, still have to know be must have 80 the drop. I didn't remember 70. And drop on the full drop now. I you know if you drop on the 70 the drop now half an order down.
That is Emmanuel Fachao, a 20-year-old man who has been driving for 2 years. Consistent rise in fuel prices is forcing him to reconsider moving out of the driving business.
My demand for them I got to petrol 2.5. May say 7.5. After the carnival question me go wash you again. But so you to my account and police station.
The fuel price increases are eating away at his profit. It also affects his concentration on the road too. Emmanuel says constantly witnessing his fuel reduce, as seen from the fuel indicator, distracts him. so he has decided to cover the fuel gauge. To reduce the frequent visits to the filling station, Emmanuel opts for short-distance rides. He believes short-distance rides are more cost-effective than long rides, although he admits the passengers can be irritating. Emmanuel appears not to be the only one covering the fuel gauge whilst on the road. Some commercial drivers also cover the fuel gauge. But what is the point when the fuel will decrease due to the kilometers covered? Emmanuel explains that he parks his vehicle after a number of rides to check his gauge to avoid completely running out of fuel. In December 2021, when he started driving, petrol was selling at 6 cedis 80 pesos per litre. Now, petrol is selling at 13 cedis 50 pesos per litre. This represents a 99% increase in price. Should the fuel prices continue to escalate, Emmanuel fears he'll be squeezed out of business. For now, the 20-year-old is looking at saving enough to start his own business and get off the road. Until then, he'll continue to temporarily cover his fuel gauge to give him some sanity on the road. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy Prime.
And our retired Supreme Court Judge Justice S.K. Dateba is making a strong case for policymakers in the data protection space to deepen collaboration to safeguard the children online across the country. According to him, such collaborations will also ensure that children optimize the usage of the internet platforms while being protected. He was speaking at the launch of the Africa Digital Rights Hub, and there's more in this report for you.
The study demonstrates the importance of ensuring digital privacy of children in Ghana. As children are increasingly exploring digital space, stakeholders in the space believe that a lot needs to be done to protect them. Speaking at the launch of the Youth People Privacy and Trust here in Accra, a retired Supreme Court Judge, Professor S.K. Dateba, called on stakeholders within the digital space to adopt a collaborative approach to ensure the protection of children.
The internet does not forgive and does not forget. So if you get your data onto the internet, that is it. It is there. And you don't want our young people to put inappropriate data about themselves onto the internet. Also, at the other end of it, inappropriate content should not be distributed to our young people.
On her part, the Executive Director of Africa Digital Rights and Hub, Teki Akwete, also assured of constant research to safeguard children's privacy.
We undertook this exercise through a series of workshops that we had with young children from different economic backgrounds in Accra, and then also worked with the school to undertake an online survey where we asked children, over 100 children, questions around what they think about their privacy online. And so this report essentially captures what the young children said about their privacy. It also captures some recommendations that they made around how their privacy should be protected.
Policymakers and decision makers have also been urged to find solutions to the concerns of young people about their online privacy in schools. An assurance of this, according to them, will generate more trust among young people.
This is a very important issue that young people face, especially since we are exposed to technology at a very young age. it has let me know that we are, as children, we are ahead. And because we grew up knowing that we are not supposed to be the ones to talk about matters that concern us. But this program has helped me know that we do matter, and issues such as this, relevant issues such as this, cyberbullying and others, and illegal use of our data should be addressed.
Karen Obey's report read to you.
And now we take you up north because the Wild West District Chief Executive Vida Dorothy has expressed worry over the cases of child marriage in the Wild West District. As a measure to keep the incident, the Assembly has enacted laws which she says is punitive enough to deter people from engaging in the act. Vida Dorothy made the disclosure at the inauguration of Child Parliament for the district, which is organized by the non-governmental organization World Vision Ghana.
One major issue, which is a serious challenge to the development of the Wild West District, is child marriage. Though the Wild West District Assembly, traditional authorities in the district have put on stringent measures aimed at curbing it, the practice is still done on the blind side. Vida Dorothy is the Wild West District Chief Executive.
Where it is actually true that child marriage is being practiced in some of our communities, and that goes a long way to affect our children's education in the district. So I'm very worried about it. And as a district assembly, we have put plans in place to reduce or minimize these manners.
Vida Dorothy is however hopeful that the latest bylaws by the Assembly are punitive enough to deter persons who want to engage in the act.
Some of the punishment is that if it is a schoolboy that has impregnated a colleague girl, then both of them are, when the girl is pregnant, now we found against abortion. So when the girl is pregnant, we allow that girl to stay in school till she delivers. And when the child is weaned, then the girl goes back to school. The period that the girl will be away from school, the boy will also have to stay away from school, so that it will be a fair punishment for both of them. If it is a community member who is not a schoolboy, then that person will be asked to pay some fine and be remitting to the girl until she gives birth. Of course, the girl should not be taken as a wife to that man.
Furthermore, Rights and Child-Centered Non-Governmental Organization World Vision Ghana has joined the wagon with the implementation of several child-centered programs in the district, including the establishment of a child parliament. Child Protection and Advocacy Manager of World Vision Ghana, Gregory says the aim is to raise awareness of the challenges that children in the district are being confronted with.
Beyond protection, we are looking at how are children involved when it comes to decision making, when it comes to discussing issues concerning them. So then we nurtured the idea to come out with the concept of child parliament, because we want to look at children contributing to decisions not only at the household level, but also looking at issues around policy that affects their lives. So today we are here in Wild West, specifically in Wechao, where we have just inaugurated the district child parliament.
First issue dealt with by the child parliament on their first session was on child marriages, where the House agreed to collaborate with state institutions and development partners to undertake community level education on causes and effect of child marriages.
Mr. Speaker, let me assure you that we on the minority side of this House are ready to debate on this issue and take decision to address these child protection issues in our communities.
Mr. Speaker, the high incidence of child marriage in our communities is as the result of the following: 1. Non-enforcement of law. 2. Parental neglect. 3. Poor functioning of state institutions.
So, Mr. Speaker, let me suggest that poverty alleviation program of the district assembly and other social programs of government like LIPS should make more available to such parents to enable them to take care of their children, especially Apobi people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah! Gregory was excited about their performance and spoke of World Vision Ghana's future plans.
With the children, we are looking at empowering these children beyond Huawei's. Okay, we want to see these children in the next National Child Parliament. I coordinate that as well. And I have children who are even traveling to the US. Some are going to Kenya for the Pan-African Child Parliament. In the near future, I want to see these children also in those spaces. I want to see them responding and participating in national discourse.
World Vision Ghana also used the opportunity to donate 50 bicycles, 300 school uniforms, 300 socks and sandals to the Warwas District Assembly for onward delivery to some deprived schools in the district. Sergio Birfori is the Warwas Area Programs Manager of World Vision Ghana.
As we walk through communities, monitoring children, interacting with community members, we notice some children who commuted very long distances from their homes to school on a daily basis. As a result of this, we're able to acquire 50 bicycles that will support 50 children in 3 communities. The second set of presentation is school uniforms. We have 300 pieces of school uniforms, 300 pieces of socks, 300 pieces of footwear, sandals, 300 school bags, and 300 belts. These put together is going to support a deprived community where in our visit to the school, we found many of the children were not really very presentable in school. In fact, some of them were in their birthday uniforms.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, watch out.
And now back in studio, we talk politics because pressure is mounting on the top leadership of the new Patriotic Party to take action against the North-East Regional Chairperson of the party, Nuruddin Hussaini. He's been accused of masterminding the brutal attack on an agent of presidential aspirant Alan Kojo-Chermating, who has been airlifted to Accra for special treatment. The aggrieved aspirants say an attack on one agent is an attack on all. They are therefore demanding sanctions against the culprits and investigations into the other excesses. From the elections, Samuel Bura reports.
We already know there were concerns of alleged brutality against some agents and vote buying by some of the aspirants during the conduct of the Superdelegates Congress. But the issue that dominated in the meeting between the aspirants and the elections committee was the attack on the agents of Alan Chermating in the Northeast region. Who speaks for his campaign team, said they have presented the evidence to the committee and are expecting the committee to expedite actions against the culprits.
We hope that the committee, after receiving these reports, will not just keep them as reports, but especially the party executives, particularly regional executives, who are found to have been culpable, will receive the necessary disciplinary action to send the right signal. Because this is not the end. We are now facing the November 4th vote election, which involves over 200,000 delegates, in which case you are going to have more than 1,000, in some cases, 1,500 voters at one voting center.
Kojo Poku also indicated that evidence on the attacks have been presented to the elections committee for further actions.
A lot of people are not happy with the Northeast issue. I think the Nalerugu issue is the only region that something did not go well. And I think there's going to be further investigation to basically ascertain. And there are other regions that some of the aspirants also have problems. But for all of us, I think the general consensus is that Northeast is where the problem is, and we need to resolve that.
But what was your concern? You also contested the...
Yes, but I also had a concern with Northeast, which, like I said, we all seem to think that Northeast is an issue. And I think that the election committee is dealing with that.
Okay, there was... Kennedy Japan, who was captured in the viral video expressing his anger about the maltreatment of his team at different locations, came with his agents that were reportedly attacked and intimidated as proof of evidence. One of them was even in a neck brace. Meanwhile, the elections committee of the NPP said they will take the appropriate actions if the facts are established. Alexander Afeyamakins speaks for the committee.
I must say that we had a fruitful engagement, very fruitful. Again, some agents also came out with their reports on certain happenings, isolated cases where they had some difficulties. We heard them. They had an opportunity to give us a full report of what happened. We are going to meet some other members again on Thursday. We also had an opportunity to meet with one of the aspirants who made certain statements, whose statement went viral, and had a positive engagement with him. And I must say that so far, so good. We should be meeting again on Thursday, and once we are done on Thursday, the committee will come out and make known to you its conclusions. But so far, so good, all is well.
One more outstanding issue still before the MPP is the disciplinary actions against 4 members for alleged misconduct. The committee resumes on Thursday to continue the meeting. For JoyNews, Samuel Mbura, Asylum Down.
We'll definitely be back with some updates from the NPP headquarters. Now the Uninima community of the within the Kintampo South districts of the Bono East region. We take you there where there's currently a feud between the Nananum and the district assembly over who has the right to run the community's water system. This comes after the chiefs of the area awarded the community's water system to contract 2 years after its breakdown, a situation the district chief executives describe as unlawful. Chief of the area has been indicating that the community is solely responsible for the running of the water system.
Rural water coverage in Ghana is on the increase, yet there are real concerns about the level of service received and the sustainability of water supply systems. One of the reasons is the lack of systematic maintenance because of inadequate funding and unreliable cash flow for capital maintenance expenditure. Here in Ayima, a predominantly farming community here in the Kintampo South district of the Bono East region, the community's only reliable water system has been out of service for the past 2 years. Some members of the community share with us the challenges they go through as they walk several miles to fetch water from the Yuko River.
We used to fetch
water from the Yuko River and we were fortunate to have a water system. We've been using the water all this while, but unfortunately the pump had the problem that affected the flow of the water. The water used to flow until recently, so we struggle a lot when it comes to access to potable water. We don't get water now, so we trek to the Yoko River. So if you help us, Ajawusu is also a resident here. He says the situation has affected the lives of the people, including school-going children who spend hours before fetching water home on daily basis. The distance between here and the water source is far, and the children have to fetch before going to school. So they get to school late. They also fall ill by drinking from the river source because people wash it and animals also drink from it. So we fall ill from drinking from this water source. More than 2 years after the breakdown of the community's water system due to the unavailability of funds to replace a damaged pump, the community has finally resolved to award the Uninima water system to a contractor to run it on a partnership basis. Nana Obrimpon Amia Amponsem is the chief of Uninima.
2 years in Uninima yenyansu enom wa Uninima hada.
We've been without
drinking water for the past 2 years, so I discussed it with the committee and gave it out to a contractor. The problem we had goes beyond the pump. There were problems even with the pipes. The contractor worked all the pipes. This decision has currently brought about misunderstanding between the Nananum of the community and the district assembly over who has the right to hand the water system to contract, with Nananum stating that the community water system is solely expected to be run by the community.
The TN say Yura Alesjan MP Abase Insuno Ompene Ma contractor no Enyensuno. Na ono
we were told Alex Jan said he won't allow the contractor to work on the water system because I don't have the right to do so. This document here is the rules governing how the water system needs to be run. It states clearly that the community should take care of the water system and that we should use the money raised from it to repair it when it gets faulty. It stated nowhere that the MP or the assembly has a share or they have to take charge of it. It's all documented here. The banter between Nananum and the Kintampo South District Assembly may continue for some time, even though the contractor has been able to fix the damaged pump. The return to life of the water system is the utmost priority for the people of the community. Anna Sabit, JoyNews, Uninima.
And back here in the studio, it's time now for us to check out what's making rounds on the various dailies for today. We get into the newspapers after this.